Hey, what's going on, everyone? So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Zaalbar from Knights of the Old Republic. So this was a figure that I was going to pass on because I never played the game. I don't have a connection to the character, but this figure was on sale at GameStop for $21. Plus I had the monthly coupon, which brought it down to $16, which is a pretty good deal. And the more I thought about it, it's a Wookiee with a sword. Yeah, I need one of those. And as you can see, it comes in the Galaxy packaging. You got Star Wars The Black Series up top. Through the window, you can see Zaalbar. There's his bowcaster. It's in two pieces right now. This sword is massive. That thing's almost as big as him. I love it, though. Then you got the Gaming Greats logo there, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and down here, Zaalbar. On this side of the box, the front window wraps around. You got the Gaming Greats logo again up there, and Star Wars The Black Series again down here. And there's the side with the artwork. Beautiful picture of Zaalbar. Big Z. Yeah, cool picture. And this blue, just beautiful. You've got a small window on the top of the box. On the bottom is the barcode and all this stuff that no one ever reads. And on the back, you've got the same picture as the side. You got a short bio in 5 different languages. Zaalbar's number 4 in this new Gaming Greats wave. And then you got some more stuff that no one reads. I'm going to get Zaalbar open and let's take a look at him. All right, so here is Zaalbar out of the box. And I will start by saying, as far as the color of him, there's actually some shading here and there. Okay, he really doesn't look like a big turd with a sword. I mean, the fur is actually a really nice color. It's like a golden brown color. In certain light, the shading or the slight wash that they put over the whole thing doesn't really show up, but he looks way better in person compared to the promo photos. All right, so now let's take a look at his head. So this is obviously a different head than Chewbacca. It's much bigger. The face is much bigger. The jaw and all this up here sticks out a little more. But the detail is really nice. I mean, I love his nose. The eyes look great. The teeth showing through. The fur looks pretty good. I mean, from the pictures that I've seen from the video game, this is what he looks like. I think they did a pretty good job of capturing an animated character in plastic. I mean, this actually looks very nice. And that's what the back looks like, just more sculpted fur. But yeah, from the neck up, he's pretty good. I like it. So we'll take a look at the harness next. It's red. There's some sculpt. I mean, there's some fine detail in there, but it's pretty much just a red harness. It's just like the one in the game. I mean, this is what it looked like. There's sort of a half of a loop back here that you can store either the bowcaster or the sword in it. Like a half, you can just put stuff in there. Yeah, so that's there. But there's not a lot to say about the harness. It's a red harness. And from the neck down, it's a Wookiee. He's got a red harness on. There's really not a lot to say about it. The fur is nicely sculpted. So if you compare it to, say, Chewbacca, okay, the head is obviously different. Okay, this head's a lot bigger. The face is bigger. This fur in here is a little bit different. The fur down here is slightly different. But from here down, it's the same. Okay, the legs are the same. And I'm thinking that the arms are the same. But the head and torso are definitely different. Like this little bit of fur hangs down right there. That's not on Chewie. So the torso, I'm thinking, is new. And of course, the head is completely different. But it's pretty dang close. I mean, the arms and legs are definite reuse. But yeah, there's some slight differences between the two. All right, so back to Zaalbar. So the arms, they're Chewie's arms. Nicely sculpted. In certain light, you can see some various shading come out. In this light, it looks like all one color, but there is a wash on it, trust me. This arm, same thing. All this in here, this nice honey brown color, fur coming down, fur on the legs. So the toes, they did not paint the toes or the fingers on Zaalbar. Because Chewie, the toes are gray, and the fingers and palms are gray on Chewie. On Zaalbar, they're all kind of it's kind of a light tan color. Same with the toes. But the detail is there on the toes, and the fur from top to bottom, it's nicely sculpted, just like Chewie. It's a good looking figure, but the articulation's a different story. Yeah, so articulation. So just like Chewie, he's pretty rigid in the head, doesn't have any down, doesn't have any, just a hair of up and no tilt whatsoever. The arms get up that far, and they can rotate all the way around. Single jointed elbows, and that is as far as you get. That's pretty poor. But there is a swivel at the elbow, a swivel at the wrist. So the right hand is hinged side to side, And the left hand's also hinged side to side. There is some twist at the midsection. There's a little bit of crunch, a little bit of back, and a little bit of side to side. There's an upper thigh swivel. The fur in the front is nice and flexible, so the legs get up that far. They go out to there. They can go way back. Single knees that just get to there. There's a swivel below the knee. The feet really don't go down or up, but you do have a little bit of swivel at the ankle. And as far as accessories, there's a look at his bowcaster. It comes like this out of the box in 2 pieces. And if you notice the shape of the peg and the shape of the hole, there's only one way this will go on. It just pegs together like that. It's pretty much all one color with the exception of the grip is black. The rest is just gray, and of course the gold balls on the end. That sounds like a medical condition. Gold balls, which I think they look great. You got 2 scopes on there. It's typical, Wookiee bowcaster. And as far as him holding this thing, it's a little tricky to get in there, but it does go. The trigger finger doesn't quite want to go to the trigger, but it does sit like that. And he holds that very well in one hand. Now, as far as getting it in 2 hands, you can turn this wrist around and kind of just have it sitting in the other hand. The fingers are super tight. But as far as aiming with 2 hands, you can't turn his head, but he can do this. You can get it in 2 hands, but he can't look in the direction that he's firing. Okay, the head does not turn, or at least mine doesn't. It's so tight. Yeah, but you can do something like that as far as getting it in 2 hands, and that really doesn't look too bad. And if you want to store the bowcaster on his back, you have several options. You could hook one of the scopes in there and have it sitting like that, or you could hook the piece that's underneath the barrel. You could hook that in there, and that actually looks pretty good. Or you could flip the thing upside down and put the stock in there. You have several options of storing this on his back. All right, so next let's take a look at the sword, and this thing is almost as tall as him. The sword looks cool. It has a very animated look to it, like it's ripped right out of a video game. The gold and the red, just gorgeous. It's a cool looking sword. Love all the detail in here. This is cool. The blade itself, the edge of it kind of shines in certain light, so it kind of looks like it has an edge on it. Yeah, it's a pretty cool sword. I love this thing. And let's see how Zaalbar holds this thing. Man, the hands are so tight. Okay, so that goes in one hand very well. That is not going anywhere, and that's a pretty good look. And if you want to get it in 2 hands, man, okay, yeah, it does go. It is, the hands are like concrete. Okay, he does hold that in 2 hands pretty well. Have to back him up to get him in frame. Yeah, that looks nice. So the elbows are just awful. The shoulders, you can't get the arms in, but he can do this, and I do think that looks pretty good. It's a Wookiee with a sword. That is hard to beat right there. And if you want to put the sword on his back, that will just snap in there like that, and that actually looks really, really good. Yeah, this right here, it's a nice look for Zaalbar. And that's what he looks like on the shelf, so yeah, he towers over everybody. Typical Wookiee fashion. He's so much taller than everyone. But I just stuck him up here in between Nihilus and Jedi Revan, so whenever Darth Revan arrives, he will go right here. But it's a nice looking figure. Now in this light here, you can see what I'm talking about as far as there being a wash on him. Okay, the fur does have some, varying colors throughout. It's not all just brown. You can see it's lighter in places. It's a little bit darker in places. It's actually a pretty good looking figure. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pleasantly surprised at how cool this figure is, because I have no connection to the character. But the face looks great. Just looking at pictures of him from the video game. This is what he looked like. The red harness, spot on. The face, spot on. The nose, the teeth, the eyes, the shape of the head. They really, really did a good job. Now, of course, from here down, it's a Wookiee, kind of plain, but the first sculpt, it looks very good. And just like I said, I'm pretty pleased with this. And the fact that you get a bowcaster with a black grip and gold balls on the end, I think this thing looks fantastic. The sword is just cool. It looks like it was ripped right out of the video game with the gold handle, all this red, this giant blade. It's just a cool sword. So I'm pretty happy overall with this figure, but I want to hear from you guys, so please comment below and let me know what you think of Zaalbar. And if you like videos on Star Wars The Black Series, please consider dropping a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please turn on notifications. I'm always posting something. I'd certainly appreciate it, and I just thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.